Next on Worcester News Tonight, 2 people are arrested after an infant's remains are discovered behind a Worcester home. We'll have the details. Plus, picking up the pieces, businesses trying to get back to work after a fire destroys a building in Oxford. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Andrioli. Worcester police arrest 2 people after discovering the remains of a baby inside a trash bag behind a Worcester home. 36-year-old Jennifer Room and 31-year-old Edwin Santiago are now facing serious charges. Police responded to a home on Lake Ave after receiving a tip from a homeowner about an unusual odor coming from a bag. When police arrived, they learned the bag had been moved across the street to the woods behind the property. Police say they discovered remains of a newborn and shortly after saw a man and a woman walking behind the property on train tracks. They placed the 2 under arrest shortly after.
And when they opened the garbage bag, they found the remains of a newborn baby. It was immediately apparent that the baby was deceased. Officers called in paramedics. They called the Detective Bureau and the crime scene unit. It is illegal to walk on the railroad tracks, so the male and the female are placed under arrest. They were both brought to the police station. They spoke with the detectives at the police station, and as a result of the investigation, they're both charged in connection with the crime.
A neighbor says Jennifer Room had been living in the home across the street before temporarily moving into his house. That man says he went to police after noticing an odor coming from the basement where Room had been staying.
I kicked her and her boyfriend out and found out that something horrific smelled in my basement. Something in a black bag stunk so bad. And I looked inside and I wanted to throw up over the baby.
The cause and time of the baby's death are pending autopsy results. Police say the 2 suspects are known to them. They face charges including removal of a human body and concealment of the death of a child. The investigation is ongoing. Worcester police are also investigating the death of another baby in the city. Police could be seen outside an apartment on Siegel Street Monday. Neighbors say they saw a heavy police presence Sunday night and feared the worst.
Worcester police say an 18-month-old baby died Sunday night. Neighbors say the infant was not breathing when emergency crews arrived at the 3rd floor of this apartment on Siegel Street. Efforts to save the baby were unsuccessful.
The ambulance was here for 20 minutes. They were obviously doing CPR in the ambulance, and apparently it was unsuccessful.
Kent Bailey has lived next door to the apartment for many years and says last night was surprising.
I'm familiar with this neighborhood. I lived here 20 years. I saw within 1 minute, I saw more police presence, ambulance presence, fire presence than I've ever seen in 20 years.
Bailey says he saw EMTs rush the child into an ambulance Sunday night.
One of the EMTs came down carrying in his arms a toddler, a young male, and it looked to me like not older than 2 years old, completely lifeless.
Bailey says there have been many issues at 20 Siegel Street, but they haven't involved the 3rd floor tenants.
The problems that we've had over here in the past couple of years are not on the 3rd floor. Those people have been really quiet.
Those who live and work in the area say it's an unimaginable tragedy.
Oh, that's very bad, because it's a little baby,
It's horrible. We thought for the worst. All the people were all outside seeing, what was going on. And I guess it was for the worst, too.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
And our Brittany Schaefer reporting the Worcester District Attorney's Office does not suspect foul play in this incident. Turning now to severe weather moving through the area tonight, the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood watch for Worcester until 4 a.m. Tuesday. Here's a look at the conditions tonight in downtown Worcester. The forecast calls for showers and thunderstorms with areas of fog until 4 a.m. The American Red Cross of Central Massachusetts is warning people to take precaution in hazardous weather conditions. They advise people to never try driving through flooded streets if you do encounter them.
Turn around and go away. Don't continue going forward if it's a huge, amount of water, especially because you don't know. As you're driving, you see water and it looks maybe like a puddle. Best thing is just don't get caught in it. Because not only if you get stuck, something could happen to your engine, then you're really going to get stuck. So a lot of people may think, oh, I can make it. I can just slowly go through it. don't even take the chance. Find a different route home.
And we'll have a complete look at the forecast later in the newscast. Traffic was slow moving for several hours on the Mass Pike after an accident in Sturbridge Monday morning. Massachusetts State Police tweeting these photos of a truck rollover accident on the westbound portion of the interstate. A point only one lane was able to pass in both directions at one point. Westbound was down to one lane hours after the crash. It caused more than a 10-mile backup between Charlton and Sturbridge. A 3-alarm fire tore through several businesses in Oxford Friday night, leaving the building destroyed. Today, some employees came to see the damage and figure out what to do next. Rosalind Flaherty reports.
Workers returned to 710 Main Street in Oxford Monday as they try to pick up the pieces from a devastating fire.
Surreal right now.
It's just really sad to see it gone.
Friday night, a 3-alarm fire ripped through this building in Oxford. Jim Smith is the owner of the building and has 3 businesses inside. He says an employee was inside and smelled smoke.
He walked towards the door and he saw flames and smoke coming out of the drop ceiling.
No one was injured in the fire. Smith says some of his equipment was recovered, but everything else was lost. The Oxford Fire Department estimates the damage to the building and businesses is $1 million.
It's the unknown that's always unsettling, but for the most part, I think we're going to be okay.
Sisters Devin and Kaylin Brady have worked for one of the companies for years. They say it was a second home.
Everything we've had over the last 7 years is gone.
We spend more time here than we do at
40
home.
to 50 hours a week here.
Smith says he and his employees will be working from alternative locations for the time being until they figure out what to do.
It's an inconvenience, but no one got hurt.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Quinsigamond Community College revealing 2 new spaces for students living in the Blackstone Valley area. A ribbon cutting took place Monday to unveil the new Internet Learning Cafe in Whitensville. Alternatives Unlimited is providing the space for the cafe. The school and the Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce also held a signing to transfer equipment and funding, all to begin their manufacturing workforce training. President Gail Carberry says the goal is to shorten the distance for QCC's 700 students who live in the Blackstone Valley area.
Increase the outreach potential to the people of the Blackstone Valley, both the traditional age students and the adult learners. Our goal is to get to a place where the Blackstone family of students feel totally integrated into what it is that we offer at Quinsigamond.
That's the good part about being a graduate of a school like this, to see it actually growing and flourishing and being recognized for the quality of service that it provides. It's, makes you feel proud to be a graduate of the school.
And Carberry says this is her last ribbon cutting as president before her last day on June 30th. Nichols College has launched a new graduate program in counterterrorism. Nichols College says the program is designed for those pursuing careers in the fields of intelligence, public policy, and security. Students will learn from counterterrorism experts and explore strategies to counter both terrorism and violent extremism. The college says the faculty saw a need to create the program when the Department of Homeland Security stressed the importance of countering violent extremism as a top priority for the United States.